Hello, Internet people. Welcome to second of three in a row of these card unboxings. I'll be taping two back to back today because the mailman came and got me two boxes. We're going to go in chronological order, so we're going to start today with this box of Q-Continuum cards. This was the second expansion pack that came out right after Alternate Universes. So this is pretty much when I quit because they introduced all kinds of crazy new side decks. There's like a Q deck and there's Q flashes and a Q. It just got too complicated for me, and I'm like, all right, I'm done. So I never got into this. This one is pretty standard. It's was it? This is 36 15 card packs. So this should be one rare, three uncommons, 11 commons. I'll try to filter those out as best I can. But like I said yesterday, all these early packs did not have the numbers or rarities listed on the cards. There's no ultra rare in this set. It doesn't look like. So this is just kind of let's go along and see what happens. First thing in this box here is there's another the crazy rules supplement with all kinds of individual line items. Oh, okay. I guess that's not the rule supplement is just on the one side, but on the back is a list of cards and their rarities and if they have any icons. It's mostly just for planets and missions, and then who the person. Oh, okay. No, I'm wrong here. Hold on, let's look at these star. Collided with uncommons, but it's still a rare. Okay, 4/3. Okay, it looks like there's actually a mortal Q that's supposed to be more rare than the regular rares. But that doesn't show up. Or at least on my online research, it just shows up as a regular rare, but it says four thirds as frequent as other cards in its rarity. So it's slightly more rare than a rare, but it's not like an ultra rare. And then Data's body is technically an uncommon to make up for the way they printed those. Okay, well let's get started here. See what happens. Alright, oh, there's a. Let me see if I remember this right. It should be three. Yeah, it's the three uncommons, the rare, and then it's all uncommons. So then here's Tapal, which is a Romulan ship. John Doe, the Zektorn guy who evolved into a ray of light. This creepy 80s guy who was in everything in the 80s. Let's see. And here's the Blade of Takan from the Takan Empire. Data has an off switch. Q with the Tijuana band, and then he made some lemonade, and then Riker's mate for Worf when he had the Q powers. And then here's such of Data's missions, and then the most generic card of all. Here's just generic space mission. That's it. I don't know why that needed to get printed, but it did. Alright, Q is a doctor. Falconian vessel. And look, more people from the Higher the Fewer episode. An antimatter pod. And speaking of, here's the Higher the Cure. Which I don't know why they got so into that. So, since we're talking about Q, I'm gonna go spoilers into Picard Season 2. If that's an issue, again, come back in 2 minutes. So, yeah, as much as I love seeing Q come back, to interact with Picard. Like, his whole plan didn't make any sense, right? Like, if you look at it, okay, I get that he's dying and he doesn't have powers, but like, what was the plan? Like, it doesn't make any sense. Like, he had to try to kill Picard in the past, and you know, he tried to kill Renee, but then and getting with Brent Sung and Sung doing like it when you sit back and think about it, it's like, so his whole idea was to get Sung to stop the Europa mission, and then that's going to lead to they don't find the microbe that saves the planet, so that way they go super totalitarianism. But like, literally, what was the I get, and of course I'm always happy to see Picard redeemed, but like, when you step back and you're like, well, what did A lead to B lead to C? Like, what was the through line? It doesn't make any sense. As much as I love seeing Q in that badass trench coat, which, you know, I might cosplay at some point because he did look fucking awesome with that, it doesn't make any sense. All right, now we're done. So right, so there's a barber pole. It doesn't do anything, but I seem to recall that like their original idea for why you'd actually use that card is when if you got a card that said destroy any event, you would destroy that one instead of an event you actually wanted something to happen to. And well, fucking look at this. Okay, second pack. So here's a Klingon guy. Then oh yeah, here's the girl who left on the Enterprise with them. And hey, second pack. All right, so that's cool. We'll just set that aside. It's not ultra rare, but it's more rare than rare. And it got on the second one, so that's probably the best hit I've gotten yet, or at least the easiest one so far. All right, so then here's more Q. And remember how shitty the sets looked in season 1? When it was like, yeah, we'll just we'll light the scrim green and it's a different planet. And then there's the Plasmodine relay, and more Olivia D'Abo. It's a shame that I loved her in the Wonder Years, but really nothing ever came of her. All right, a Sung type android, which, as I recall, you can make do pretty much whatever you want. The one that reports. And then, okay, here's Naked Q. And here's how you start implementing the Q side deck. And you could do all kinds of crazy shits with it. But remember, your original hand size was in standard regulation play was limited to 60 cards. So here, if you make a side deck of 13 cards, that's a quarter of your cards are going in the side deck, which is crazy. All right, so then there's the QNet that's going to hold everybody back. Some security regulations. Talking in his puppy dog's ears. And then, oh look, there's the net again, but used differently. Alright. So we've probably hit our peak here in pack 2. But we'll keep going, because we got 36 of these things. Let's see what else we can get. And then, that bitchy girl. Patriotism, and a Janice Mannheim. And then, really, is that? Yeah, that's a rare. Okay, we did that, and that, and that. Amanda Califf. And then Data with the Chinese finger puzzle, which you'd think as a robot he'd be smart enough to figure out how to fix. And Dr. Q medical entity. Just funny. Shakespearean Q. Do the animator pod. And then, look, there's a regular colony you can build with on any mission you have completed. You don't even need an engineer. Okay. Like, at least with most of the other, what are they, facilities you can build, it's, hey, if you have an engineer here, you can build. Which, when you think about it, it's like, hey, Geordi is alone on a planet. He's going to build a space station by himself. It doesn't really make any sense. but all right. Here's a Quartilic, and then up Q fighting Guinan with his weird hand gestures. Samuel Clemens. And that's 6. We just got that same rare, 2 packs in a row. Suntek, Dornet, Plasnet, All Switch, Woman, Q, Antimatter. Oh, here's a different one. Here's the old Deborah Serpent that he turned into. And then, to go with the space location. Oh, look. Here's just a random nebula. And then you can end transmission. And then up. So it looks like there's at least 2 cards now where Q was just whispering in people's ears. I never noticed he did that so much. He does it a lot in All Good Things. Alright. So we did the Bitchy Woman, Issues Patriotism, and the Barber Pole. Although, okay. So here's another Vorcha class ship. So darn it. Yep, and a Drought Tree. Alright, we're only 4 packs in, and we've already seen almost all the commons. So, yeah, I will try to make this go as fast as possible. Frigid. Oh, the girl who fought against Wesley Crusher to get Academy acceptance. Juliana Taylor, who was a android and didn't know it. And then, oh look, oh no, that's when he turned Crusher into a dog. Here's Con Officer Gibson. Is she Con Officer? I'm not sorry, she's the helm. My mistake. And let me just say, I actually Plex all the time. It actually helps very much with hiccups. Just so you know. So they weren't kidding when they did that. Incoming message from the Continuum. And then remember the crazy season 2 was it dress uniforms? And then another doorway that you use for all the crazy Q side deck shenanigans that I don't understand. Oop, and here's my favorite con officer, Ensign Rager, who apparently, if you read the books, goes on to do a bunch of stuff. Okay, and then the penalty box. That's enough of that. And then that guy who was gonna get that's an interesting way, because yeah, he died when he turned 60. So once you get 60 points, although I'm sure if you play by the letter of the law, I'm sure there were plenty of people who were like, well, if I play him once I have more than 60 points, he doesn't get discarded. And then they probably figured out some way around that in a rule supplement somewhere. But anyway, then here's Lau as an actual person and not as the non-aligned android. Did we do Jealous Amanda? I don't know. Lemonade Colony. Oop, okay, there's Amanda stomping a Warp Core Breach. Oop, and then there's John Doe transfiguring. And then, let's see, Seala's bodyguard. And then we did that. Oop. And a Romulan ship. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we're done with the commons by now. And so here's a Klingon pain stick. That's new. As is Kalest, the one witness to Jurassi's betrayal. And then they make him immortal again. And, oh, Tom Paris. Nick Locarno. Even though pretty much Tom Paris is Nick Locarno, but they didn't call him that because if they did, in every episode of Voyager, they would have had to pay the original writer of... is that the First Duty? Yeah, it's the First Duty. But they didn't want to do that. So it's pretty much the exact same character. They just changed her name. Or his name. I said her because I'm looking at Amanda's parents. And then did we do an end transmission? Here's some Q's animal things, which are basically Tellarite costumes. His Honor the High Sheriff of Nottingham. Not my favorite episode. And then here's Mordok to go with the regular Bendon or Mendon that they put in the first series. And then there's Geordi getting brainwashed. Ooh, that one looks new. Some security precautions. Alright, well that's disheartening. That pack had 2 of the same uncommons, but here's a third one for this commendation. And everyone turned their back on Worf. And then that Romulan ship again. Yep, another card game where you play craps. Yep, and wrong door. Just use redirect. And up the Tyrellian Plague Planet. Yep, okay. So let's double check what it said. It said Data's body is a rare, right? Is that what it said? It was packaged as an uncommon personnel. Yeah, so Data's body is a rare that's packaged with the uncommons. So let's see if I then get another one. Oh, good. So that means I actually end up with 2 rares in this pack. So there's Data's body. And then Sonia Gomez, who, how awesome was she when she showed up in Lower Decks? And they brought back the same actress, which is awesome. She was very instrumental if you read the books in the Corps of Engineers. So then here's Sakath. And the second rare in this pack is Yuta. Not to be confused with Wheeler Yuta on AEW Dynamite. Who, just across the streams a little bit, I saw him get his start at the CZW Dojo Wars, and just seeing him rocking out with John Moxley and Daniel Bryan, or Bryan Danielson, just seeing that transformation is kind of awesome. Just personal. Alright, so here's the IKC Tong. And Talek and Nick Locarno again. So this one's not so great. Guilty. And then up. It really would have been nice if they put her on the show in more than 2 episodes. But Ashley Judd went on to bigger, better things than being on Star Trek: The Next Generation. The doppelganger from the Mannheim Effect, right? Or not? I don't know. It's been a while since I watched. Is that a season 2? That, and am I a snob? So I'm one of the very few people who went out and bought the HD DVDs remasters. So I know they rerun on like BBC America or sometimes syndicated, and it's not the HD, and I just can't watch the regular def ones anymore. So Cyril, that looks familiar. Oh, I know why that card looks familiar, because that is the exact same image that's in the incoming transmission Romulan. And then I think we did that, but I'm going to do it again. So there's Janice Mannheim and the discommendation. And then up there's Galen. And then I don't remember that at all. But here's Dr. Samuel Clemens. Or, sorry, is he a doctor? I don't know. I'm confused. I'm looking at 2 cards at the time. They're crossing in my brain. So there's Dr. Clemens is played by Deep Throat from the X-Files. And then here's Dr. Paul Mannheim. And then and again, the sidebar. How good was the X-Files back when Deep Throat was still in it? That whole last season, where it got basically rebooted twice, it was not good. Alright, Sam Clemens. Then up, there's the Calamarain, which is very on target for the set. Although that's almost as bad as it was like, hey, we're gonna attack Q with a cloud. That's almost as bad as I haven't downloaded, but I haven't watched it. But I am familiar with. There was, if anyone remembers, Mantis back on Fox in the '90s, which I believe ran the same day as X-Files, or not, whatever. But there was an episode where it originally started off as like an action superhero. But then it got retooled midway through, and then it became like a really weird fantasy series. But there was one point where Mantis, the guy in the mechanically augmented neural transmitter interception system, the exoskeleton that gave him superpowers, the guy wearing the suit, is attacked by a Tyrannosaurus. But the Tyrannosaurus is invisible. And they just sort of go, oh god, I'm getting attacked by a Tyrannosaurus! But you can't. It's like that's the cheapest way I've ever seen special effects be done. It's like, oh my god, we're an invisible monster. All right, so there's Andy Gomez, and then Ira Graves, hot assistant, Captain Muta, and then we're done here. Oh, okay. That's an interesting mechanic. If that guy dies and you don't counterattack, you get 10 points. Interesting. Alright. And then, Canera. Alright. And then Gil Madrid from back before the Cardassians become their own affiliation. I wonder, if I'm really interested, I could go look at the rule supplements. But I don't think, when they introduced Deep Space Nine, they made the Cardassians their own affiliation. But I don't think it was backwards compatible with all the non-aligned Cardassians they printed beforehand. Penalty box, and then, and Mr. Holm, who apparently has telepathic powers, I guess, if you read that word, and then, that I'm just going to show this. I'm not screwing around. I'm just going to 2 of the exact same card back to back. in the same pack. That's the worst it's been so far in this one. But yeah. So they got better at it from the last expansion pack, but they're still not great at it. Alright, 2 minutes ago, Robin left there. Paint stick, and then okay. The only thing in this one is the Tarkanan study. Okay, that looks like that's not an either or location. That's a space and planet, but you can't build an outpost there. All right. So rules got weird when they start adding so many extra cards. Like particularly if you played, at the end when they were done, there were so many cards in play that they added so many different mechanics because they then needed to add counter mechanics too, but then those mechanics became too powerful, so then they unmechanicked them. It got ridiculous. Like, so, for example, the classic one they did was in the Premier Edition. They had the Dilemma Firestorms, which was let's see. Oh, here's a Marasta Yates. And then another Data's Body, and a Madame Guinan. So yeah, so they had this dilemma, which was, hey, your away team is caught up in a plasma storm. If everybody's not smart or some shit, everybody dies. Or there's if thermal deflectors are not in place, because you could put up thermal deflectors, everybody dies. So what they originally intended for people to do when that happened was you would use the emergency transporter armbands and beam the whole party up. But what people were doing was like, hey, the party's getting attacked. And they're like, oh, well, shit, I don't want to deal with that. I'll use the emergency transporter armbands to immediately beam everybody up, and I'll just avoid that battle. And then they needed to... that was in the alpha, and then in the beta they said, you can't do that. At least I believe that's what happened. And they're like, yeah, nope, that's not how that mechanic was meant to work. But people were using it in ways that they hadn't intended. So then they had to put other things in place that said, oh, these things will counteract that. But then, I believe you do, Amanda Rogers would cancel that. But then you could Kevin Uxbridge that, which then you could Q2 that. And there were just so many things that would go round and round and round and round. It got to be ridiculous. But anyway, so here's Q's planet. And Picard as the Arbiter of Succession. Ooh, alright, here's Wesley getting stabbed. And then, the Klingon Civil War. It's just an event. Plays on table on play when there's any opponents. Oh, that's interesting. See, they put an event in, and then they have to say, specifically immune to the mechanic we built in that allows you to destroy events. Yep. Here's the first ever Android phone. Alright. And Keiko O'Brien, who, let's all face it, she was not the greatest character. I mean, it was nice for Miles to get a wife and they could explore that husband-wife dynamic. But just, it's like, oh yeah, Miles, fuck off, I'm gonna have a kid and we're just gonna dash off to Cardassia and I'm gonna do my job by myself with our kids for I don't know, 2-3 years. They didn't really seem like they interacted all that much. I'm saying. Galen. Perhaps, and then, oh. Oh. I was about to yell at them that they spelled Canar wrong. But that's not the bottle of Cardassian liquor. That's something else. Which, if you want, you can look online. There's a company that sells Star Trek liquor. And you can get Canar in a Canar bottle. Like the official one that they use on the show. They went and they got the prop. And then they scanned it and they made a mold and 3D printed it. So you can get it in like an actual replica of the bottle. Alright, so there's allow system-wide cascade failure. Alright, coming to the end here. So it looks like at this point we got all the uncommons, and now I'm starting to get duplicates on the rares, which is a bummer. Yep, nope, that's new. There's a Heisenberg compensator. And, oh, the USS Stargazer. Which, how nice did that bridge look in Picard? Even though it's not the same ship, but it's basically the same ship. But yeah. And let me throw my head in the ring of the people who were like, hey, if, you know, the timeline changed and Picard is in charge, and Rios is no longer the captain, and Picard granted Seven a provisional Starfleet enlistment and made her the captain of the ship, I am all down for a 7 of 9 as captain of the USS Stargazer spinoff. Yep. And yeah, okay, I was gonna, what I wasn't gonna say, I wonder if it's possible to get 2 of the special card in the same box, and it looks like it is. It's not ultra rare, it's just slightly more rare than a regular rare, but there's 2 of them in this same box. So that's interesting. Now one of those can definitely go on the wall. Alright, 3 more packs here. Oh, and look, here's the celiac, which is like, I believe was like a guy in a trash bag sitting underneath, like puppeting something. And then, alright. That's a rare station? Okay. What makes that so rare to see it on any planet? If simply at the end of the game. Okay. That's interesting. I know what I would do. I would make all my missions require barbering. Because it's a skill they put in there specifically so you could do stuff like that. Alright. Last one. Let's try to finish out strong here. Let's see what we get. And a duplicate we already have. So, alright. Let's swap back here. So, yeah. Let's see. Did I thoroughly expand my power in the universe? I don't know. Let's just say, yeah, this is the only picture in the box. It's on all 4 sides, unlike the other boxes. But yeah, so, 2 Mortal Qs. Again, everything I've seen online says that that's not super rare, so I might have to update the Memory Alpha wiki with that. That it's slightly more rare than rare. But yeah, 2 of those in the same box. That's one at the beginning, one at the end. That's pretty cool. So now I'm going to go put on a different shirt and pretend that it's a different day, and we'll come back with this box of Rules of Acquisition. Thanks, everybody.